Aha! I am Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic.com, and I have clearly obtained Tom Campbell's magical Lion Tamer's news reading jacket, which means I am now able to do something I don't normally do and do one of these news videos all on my Todd. Here are your Saturday morning headlines. It's got bloody magic powers. We have more details about Velveteen Dream's return to NXT TV this week. Coronavirus sends WWE's TV tapings into turmoil. And we have an intriguing update about what SummerSlam 2020 could look like, and let me tell you, dear viewer, it's gonna look sexy. Eagle-eyed viewers who saw this week's NXT will have seen the return of the Velveteen Dream, who returned to our screens for the first time since failing to capture the NXT title from Adam Cole at TakeOver in Your House back in June. Mauro Ranallo let us know that Velveteen Dream had to take some time away from television because he was so gutted after that defeat to Adam Cole at TakeOver in Your House, but Dream's absence from television coincided with allegations made as part of the Speaking Out movement. We have more details surrounding Velveteen Dream's return to NXT TV this week, and these come from Fightful and their Fightful Select paid service, where they are saying it was revealed that Velveteen Dream's return was kept very private backstage, and most of the talents only knew about his comeback minutes before the show went on the air. Fightful continue, Velveteen Dream has been on the receiving end of significant heat for a long time now, mainly due to his behavioural issues. Dream has also reportedly been given preferential treatment in several situations. It was noted that any other superstar in Dream's position would have been fired. The heat hasn't ceased to exist, as it was prevalent during his return as well. It was added that the company had not given any updates on the potential disciplinary action that may have been taken against Velveteen Dream. So it would appear that it wasn't just the fans watching this week's NXT who were very surprised to see Velveteen Dream return to our screens so soon after those very serious allegations were made against him. And that's the sticking point, isn't it? Obviously, I can only speak to you right now from the perspective of a fan, despite the rumours that I'm Evil Uno in the Dark Order. From a fan's perspective, Velveteen Dream returning to WWE TV after such serious accusations with no official statement, update, any word from WWE, it just can't be right, can it? We're all left assuming WWE have done some things, which just doesn't sit well with me at all. Well, maybe they've done an investigation and the results of this investigation has given WWE enough confidence to bring back Velveteen Dream to television. Well, I'm asking WWE, if you have done these things, tell the entire world and put our minds at ease. At the moment, everybody watching NXT TV is just left assuming things, and in the midst of these allegations, which are incredibly serious by the way, you know that simply can't be right. Let's eliminate the possibility that, oh, WWE have just taken Velveteen Dream off television, waited for the Speaking Out movement to blow over, and then brought him back because it's all fine. Eliminate that doubt by putting out a statement, WWE. Come on, it's a serious situation here. Treat it as such. And now we have more coronavirus related news when it comes to WWE. You love to hear it every single pissing day of your life, don't you? As you may recall, back in June, the likes of Renee Young, Jamie Noble, Adam Pearce and Kayla Braxton all publicly confirmed they had coronavirus. All four of those people, by the way, obviously were in and around the Performance Centre, performing, producing on WWE's weekly TV shows. While it was confirmed that at least one more developmental talent inside the Performance Centre had got coronavirus, it is thought the number of cases in and around WWE is around the 30 mark. Mike Johnson reported on PW Insider Elite that he has been told by at least 3 different sources that WWE decided not to tape a second episode of SmackDown on August the 4th because more people inside the Performance Centre had got coronavirus. And because of this, last night's episode of SmackDown was recorded 2 days ago alongside next week's episode of Monday Night Raw. The coronavirus pandemic continues to sweep havoc throughout WWE and all of our lives. And now, after trying to reportedly host SummerSlam on a boat, after trying to reportedly host SummerSlam at the beach, after reportedly trying to host SummerSlam on a massive, gigantic spaceship, I might have made that up, WWE have finally found a home for SummerSlam 2020. Oh no, it's not the Performance Center, it's the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. And it's news on the production side of things for SummerSlam 2020 that I'm here to bring you today after initial reports from PW Insider, who reported that WWE wanted to enlist the help of virtual fans, much like the baseballers have done in the MLB. Ballin'. All that malarkey. Those cheeky little bunch of scamps on the Twitter who are right more times than they possibly should be, called WrestleVotes, followed up this report by saying, as part of WWE's new long-term residency at the Amway Center, a new interactive experience will be introduced with over 2,500 square feet of LED boards where fans will appear live on the show, and this will be hosted by superstars and legends, apparently, in some way, form or fashion. How that works, I've got no idea, but colour me intrigued, dear viewer. On top of that, applications to be on these LED boards will be opening next week. And we have a third layer to this production-related SummerSlam 2020 story. It's like a bloody onion. This time it comes from Ryan Satin over at Pro Wrestling Sheet, who says the wrestlers in the ring will likely be able to hear the audio from the virtual crowd as well, which means there might be actual audience interaction again to a certain degree. And I tell you what, this is exciting. And it's exciting, of course, because we're going to have Zoom meetings between the wrestlers in the ring and us fans on these massive boards, which presumably, this is off the top of my head, of course, will surround the ring. It's going to be nice. And this is a welcome change for me, because I don't know about you at home, but the crowd inside the Performance Centre, while they are working hard, and I really do appreciate that in these unprecedented times, they're becoming really annoying, aren't they? The bangs on the boards, the little chirps in here and there that don't add to what's happening inside the ring. It's all becoming too much for me. That's everybody apart from Eric Bugenhagen, of course. He is a wonderful, wonderful pufferfish. And these massive, massive, massive boards is wonderful, wonderful news, because it's a great way to get us fans back integrated with live WWE shows, while ensuring, of course, the most important thing, our safety. And it looks like to me WWE might have taken inspiration from Manchester City in the Premier League. When the Premier League returned after the break for coronavirus, Manchester City had these boards behind each of the goals, and on there was Zoom calls with about 9 to 12 fans. They were there, they've seen that, and Vince McMahon obviously has said, let's make it 25,000 times bigger! Well in, Vince. And finalement, oh, that's what Tom says, isn't it? This fancy jacket makes you speak French, I tell you. It's got magical powers. We have one confirmed return for the upcoming episode of Monday Night Raw, and one maybe return. A little ball tickler, very tantalising. The first confirmed return is that of HBK himself, Mr. Sexy Boy. Sexy Boy! It's Shawn Michaels, who is coming back to Monday Night Raw to address what happened on last week's show between Ric Flair and Randy Orton. If you didn't see last week's Raw, go back and watch this segment. It's absolutely fantastic. Randy Orton calls Ric Flair all of the names under the sun. He lambasts Ric Flair for being a liability to his career. Ric Flair then cries, and it hits you right in the feels like a massive, massive wrecking ball. I don't know about you at home once again, but Ric Flair is clearly the best crier in the history of crying. When he cries, you cry too. Then, of course, Randy Orton hoofed Ric Flair right in the nads, right in the testicles, right in the meaty clacker, right in Space Mountain, before Randy Orton punt-kicked Ric Flair right in the head. Or did he? Or did he? You see, because when contact was made, the lights went out. We didn't see it for obvious reasons, because 71-year-old Ric Flair should not be taking a punt to the head in the midst of this pandemic, and because he's 71. But also, some people are thinking it's a ruse. Some people are thinking Randy Orton planned for the lights to be turned off, make Drew McIntyre think that he has turned on Ric Flair before Ric Flair comes back, presumably hoops Drew McIntyre in the nads, and that's how Randy Orton wins the WWE title. I can't wait to see what Shawn Michaels does on this week's Raw. That sexy, sexy, homeless-looking man. And the second maybe not return comes to us from WWE.com, who have asked the following question. Is Rey Mysterio returning to Raw this Monday? Rumours have been running rampant, I tell you, that Rey Mysterio is coming to Raw this Monday. Rey Mysterio, of course, has not been seen since he was kind of maybe not blinded by Seth Rollins. Globe luxation, I think the term was used, at the horror show at Extreme Rules. Last week on Raw, of course, Dominic Mysterio, the son of Rey, took one hell of a beating at the hands of a kendo stick in the hands of Seth Rollins and Murphy. One hell of a segment. You need to go and watch if you didn't see it, of course. That Raw couple of outstanding segments. So there we have it. We're going to see Shawn Michaels. We could see Rey Mysterio. What will happen on Monday Night Raw? You'll have to tune in to find out. Anyway, I have been Ross Twiddell from Cultaholic.com, sporting Tom Campbell's magical news jacket. It turns out it's not that magical because this video was a mess. He's a better presenter than me.